We are a river city, a bold city, the First Coast, a place to create and to belong. Here, the sun shines a little brighter, and so do the people. We share a love for our region, a pride for Jacks, and a passion for the beautiful game, dedicated to giving everyone a sporting chance. Together, we will elevate soccer and sport in our community by lifting every voice. We are Sporting Club Jacksonville. We are Sporting Jacks.
Hello and welcome into the Sporting Jacks Report. I'm Cole Pepper. Coming up, how the Sporting Jacks pipeline is enjoying major success this summer. Plus, Emerson Burris visited Mike Pickett's soccer camp this week. What she saw on the field at St. John's Country Day School. But let's first start with the first ever USL Super League playoffs. Back in August, when the Super League kicked off for the first time, one of the opening week matchups we saw was Dallas Trinity visiting the Tampa Bay Sun. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. Both teams changed quite a bit over the course of the season, but the teams played very competitive games with each other, winning once with 2 draws. On Saturday, they met for the first ever USL Super League playoff game in Tampa. To Riverfront Stadium we go. In the early stages, Dallas aggressive. 17th minute off a corner kick. Ball comes out to Julia Dorsey. She sends one into the box where Hannah Davidson gets ahead to it, and somehow it finds its way through, and Dallas has a 1-0 lead. It would remain that way until the 35th minute when Sydney Nacello on the move, and she is fouled in the box. Sierra Hinson whistled. That's a penalty, and who else but Tosh Flint to take it. And the first team All-League pick. Scores were level at 1, and it's a game in Tampa. Second half now nearing the hour mark when Flint feeds Carly Gimona. And watch this creative little chip over the top. Just a delicate little ball that goes into the back of the net. Tampa Bay leads 2-1, and the celebration is on. Tampa Bay Sun earned a spot in the USL Super League Finals.
I mean, that was our pregame talk, just how we've been good in adversity. We've faced a lot of adversity this year, from hurricanes to visas to different injuries and setbacks, and we've been behind a bunch of games, but they're a team that, is built for adversity. They have each other's back. They're super supportive, and they never give up. And honestly, I think we've seen the best of them when we're behind a goal.
And we now welcome in Becky Burley. Becky, Tampa has come a long way since that opening game against Dallas. Fitting that they got the win at home to advance to the finals.
Well, you hit the nail on the head with that one. It's about moving on, and they did that. And to be honest, that game was not a surprise to me. I think Tampa has found a way, particularly in the second half, to grind out some results that have gotten them in the position they're in now.
Right. Now to the other semifinal. Carolina Ascent, the top seed, hosting Fort Lauderdale United after a scoreless first half. The home team gets on the board first. Watch this little redirect by Riley Baisden right to the foot of Catherine Gonzalez, who blasts one home. An absolute missile. It's 1-0. Carolina with the lead. Take another look here. Just a little redirect, and Gonzalez puts it away to give the top seed the early advantage. 68th minute now. Shania Gordon with a pretty through ball to Kiera Locklear. And Locklear, who always seems to find the net against Carolina, does it again to equalize at 1. It remained tied through regulation. So on to extra time we go after Locklear's first backflip celebration. Here we go, 120th minute, some controversy. Julia Grosso puts the ball over the top, and Locklear there to put it away. Everybody on Carolina thinks it's offside, but the flag was down. No offside call. Take another look here. See what you think. Was this offside or not? Here it is as the ball gets hit back, and then there's contact. There is Locklear. She appears to be beyond the next to last defender, but it was allowed to stand a little closer maybe upon replay if you look down the line there. But did look like it was an offside call that did not get called. So Fort Lauderdale comes back from a goal down to win and set up an all-Florida final. So, Becky, it is a controversial ending to the game, but quite the comeback by Fort Lauderdale.
Well, Fort Lauderdale was the surprise for me. And it's funny because we had talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like, that's why we play the game, because certainly every indication would have been Carolina advancing. But I think it's hard. I think it's hard. They clinched so early, and maybe they were just a bit out of rhythm. And that controversial goal at the end certainly doesn't help.
All right, Becky, let's look ahead now to the all-Florida final. Fort Lauderdale and the Tampa Bay Sun. Who do you like in this matchup?
No doubt. I kind of love the fact that it's two Florida teams. I think it's going to be a great final. I would pick Tampa, but as we have seen before, that's not necessarily how it always goes. But, you know, when you get to a final, anything can happen at that point. But Tampa playing at home, I feel like they're in pretty good form right now. That, to me, would be something to bet on.
All right, well, there it is, the matchup for the first ever USL Super League final. Tampa Bay will host Fort Lauderdale Saturday, later on this evening, 7:30. And again, you can watch the final, as you could every game this year, on Peacock. Let's get the head coach's take now on the final. Stacey Balaam talked about the All-Florida matchup this week on the radio show. She's looking forward to seeing how Jacksonville's two closest geographic rivals perform with the championship on the line.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Obviously, a great representation for our own state, but it just shows the competitiveness of the league. I think that you know, those two teams are very interesting, two contrasting teams. Tampa's game the other day, I mean, I felt like they didn't have a lot of the possession, but still seemed to win the game. And sometimes that's, you know, that's the way soccer goes. But I think it's going to be a nice rivalry over the weekend, and we'll see who comes out on top.
All right, time now for our USL Championship game of the week, and this week it's a cross-country matchup between Monterey Bay and Lexington SC. Monterey Bay had not won since April the 12th, and they welcomed Lexington across 3 time zones for this matchup. To Monterey Bay we go, and Monterey Bay in the dark kits, Lexington in the orange shirts. Early on, the visitors have a free kick. 7th minute. And watch this from Nick Firmino. It is a thing of beauty, and it gives Lexington a 1-0 lead. You won't see a better free kick than that. Then watch this transition. Alex Dixon, the former Jacksonville Armada player, chases after this one and sends it forward to Adam Larson, who takes his time, doesn't rush it, gets past the keeper, puts it away to equalize. What a quick change by Monterey Bay, and the home fans are loving it. Now to the second half. Night has fallen. Lexington's Joe Hafferty, look right there, called for the handball in the box. As you can see on this replay, the arm away from the body, clearly a penalty. That sets up Anton Soyberg to put it away, and that's the difference. Monterey Bay wins 2-1, defending home soil and picking up a very needed win. We now welcome in Mauricio Ruiz. Mal, Lexington has been struggling, but this was a good win for Monterey Bay, especially considering this cross-country matchup.
Yeah, Monterey needed it. If you look at two different teams in different stages of their season, yeah, Lexington's struggling. You know, they've had a tough time since they've come up from USL League One into the championship a little bit early. They didn't really do. I mean, they did some things to improve their roster, but not significant. Now, Monterey is on a different time in their franchise, and they started hot. I don't know if you remember, Cole, in the beginning of the season, they were one of the top, you know, first 5-7 games of the season. They're right there at the top, and they fell down a little bit. So they certainly needed this. It's a game on their schedule that at this point everyone expects to take on Lexington and do well, especially at home. So it's a good win for Monterey.
All right, let's take a look at the standings. First in the West, New Mexico United on top. They have been playing very well of late. Tulsa continues to hang around near the top of the table with San Antonio and El Paso the next 4. Look at the bottom. Lexington really struggling. Just 1 win so far this year. They have not been able to find a way to adapt to playing in the USL Championship. Remember, they were a League One team last year. Looking at the Eastern Conference standings now, Lou City on top with Charleston Battery and Loudoun United 2 and 3. Want to point out North Carolina, they have really been on a roll. 4 straight decisions in their favor. So they've risen to number 4. That was a team that 2 years ago was in USL League 1. They promoted themselves back up, and there they go. On the other end of the spectrum, Tampa Bay Rowdies, usually one of the top teams in the league, really struggling at the bottom of the table. Season tickets are on sale now for Sporting Jack's inaugural USL Super League season, kicking off in August at Hodges Stadium. Tickets start as low as $10 per game for students and go up to field seats and premium hospitality. You can join the movement and be part of the first professional women's team in Jacksonville. Go to sportingjacks.com or call 904-863-KICK for more information. Coming up, we hear from the chairman of Sporting Jacks. I sat down with Ricky Kaplan this week to hear about his vision for the future. That's next as the Sporting Jacks Report rolls on. Our next soccer watch party is tonight. We'll be at Island Wing Company on Southside Boulevard to watch the USL Super League Final. Tampa Bay hosting Fort Lauderdale. It's a 7:30 kickoff, but get there early. We'll have prizes and giveaways. And you'll have the chance to meet Sporting Jacks head coach Stacey Balaam. We'll see you at Island Wing Company tonight. After the Super League Finals are complete, the clock will be ticking down to the start of the 2025-2026 season, the first for Sporting Jacks as the women get set to kick off in August. This week I sat down with lead Sporting Jacks investor Ricky Kaplan in his Mandarin home. We talked about his hopes for the impact that Sporting Jacks can make, as well as some recent European travel that could impact the future of the club. I also asked him about how his vision of the global game has changed over the past 2 years since he helped launch the club into the USL.
It's funny, I think Tebow had a joke that, we were used to a different kind of football. Certainly as a kid, I grew up watching the World Cup and things like that and appreciated it. I played a little bit of soccer when I was really young. My sisters actually played some soccer and were really good, but I certainly didn't have an appreciation growing up that I do now. And I've gotten to now watch Premier League teams and some of the top athletes in the world. And it's just amazing. We were just recently in Norway and in Oslo, and we went into these fields and facilities that they have in the heart of Oslo, and they have these trophies and relics of over 100 years ago. The King of Norway literally played for the team that we were visiting. It's just incredible the rich culture and history that exists and what it means to people to be part of their soccer clubs.
Yeah, you were able to hit several countries. I think you saw 4 different matches on that trip. What was that experience like? We
did. So it was really cool because I got to bring my son Rylan, who's 10, with me. And the first game we attended was Lyn Oslo. They're one of the original football clubs in Norway. And they play in an Olympic stadium that was built for the Olympics, and we got to see them play. It was really fun. Then we went Scotland first with Steve and caught the Celtic last game of the season where they were presented the trophy for winning the league. You have, I don't know how many people that stadium fits, but let's say 70,000 people, at least, might be more than that, singing, songs to the Beatles and dancing, and then their crowd that sits down in the corner was literally did not sit down the entire time, singing these crazy fun songs and chants, and it was just an incredible experience. It was beautiful. And then we went down to London. We caught some of the Premier League games for one of the last weekends of the year, and we caught Brentford and Fulham. And these are 2 clubs that are very close to each other. The way they talk smack over there is a lot different. I don't understand some of the words they're saying, but I think I get the meaning of it. But they're basically singing songs and chants back and forth at each other. It's a lot of fun. And then the game is incredible. Like that this sport, every moment of the game counts. Ryan and I got to go back and see some of the facilities and meet with some of the players, and the investment that they've put into these facilities to develop talent from the very earliest ages is really incredible. It's first class, and we learned a lot that we hope to take back to our club.
What did that mean to you to have your son with you on that trip?
It was one of the most incredible experiences that him and I have ever had together. It was so much fun. There's a lot of stories that I didn't even share outside of the soccer, but it was a father-son trip for the ages.
What's your vision for the future in Jacksonville with regards to soccer? Where do you want to see this thing go?
Yeah, so starting with the professional soccer, the men's and women's, our goal has always been to be the highest level of soccer that our city merits. And to me, that's Division I for both. we were very fortunate coming out of the gate with the women that they got sanctioned in the USL Super League to be Division I, being the first ever Major League women's team here. And we've stated since the beginning that whether we want to be Division I, and with some of the recent developments that have happened within the USL and them applying for Division I status, I think that's very much on the radar for our men to be a major league team as well. And so, but that's just the team's part of it. I think on the youth development, we want to also compete at every level on a national stage. We want Jacksonville, North Florida, and our surrounding counties to be known as the soccer capital of the USA. And not just soccer, but aquatics and whatever sports we add next. We want to raise up elite athletes that are servant leaders.
Kaplan's ambition for the growth of Sporting Jacks is impressive, not just on the soccer field, but also in the pool. The aquatics program is growing, and he, like the rest of us, can't wait until the inaugural season kicks off in August. Attention girl dads, celebrate Father's Day with a gift that creates a daddy-daughter lifetime memory. Until Father's Day, you can purchase a twin ticket pack for the USL Super League opener on August the 23rd against DC Power. Ticket packets just $30. If you can't make it to that game, other matches are available by request. Go to sportingjacks.com to purchase your digital voucher. Then you can redeem the voucher before game day to claim your tickets and get ready to make some memories. Still to come, our youth soccer spotlight, how some top players are improving under one of the top coaches in the country. That's next as the Sporting Jacks report rolls on. The inaugural Sporting Jacks kit has been unveiled, and now you can order your own. Use the QR code on your screen to order your official Sporting Jacks shirt. You can also go to sportingjacks.com to buy other official team merchandise. It's time now for the Youth Soccer Spotlight presented by the Bearded Pig Barbecue. Emerson Burris is here. And Emerson, this week you were down at St. John's Country Day School where Mike Pickett continues his traditional summer camp. He really does do such a great job of shaping the next generation of soccer stars.
That's exactly right, Colin. I was absolutely blown away by this camp. The North Florida Soccer Academy's elite camp, now in its 21st year, is giving players a real taste of high-level competition and college prep.
Push, push, push! All the way through, don't stop, through the codes!
At the North Florida Soccer Academy elite camp, the energy is high, the competition is fierce, and the standard is elite. Founded more than 2 decades ago, this camp offers top-tier players from across the region a chance to grow their game and themselves.
Our goal of this camp is to try and push the players on to get uncomfortable, and because the only way we grow as coaches or people or as young players is to get out of our comfort zone.
Coach Mike Pickett has dedicated his career to that growth, building a dynasty at St. John's Country Day School and helping more than 50 girls commit to playing college in just the past 4 years.
Soccer is what we do, it's not who we are, so we try to teach that to them.
For players like Alana Mantello, who just finished her freshman season at St. John's under Pickett, NFSA has been a game changer, both on and off the field.
It has totally changed my life. I was totally mind blown. Like I had never seen anything like it before. I had never played at this level before. I really just had a new sense of motivation and a new taste for the game, and it just made me want it even more.
With college in sight, Alana says the biggest influence hasn't just been the competition, it's been the coach.
I couldn't ask for a better role model, a better coach figure. He's a parental figure in a way that he doesn't tell us what to do, but he gives us the best life lessons.
Beyond personal growth, the players here now have something even bigger to aim for, thanks to Sporting Jacks.
It gives them hope that we have a pro team in our area and that there's an opportunity, something to strive for that they can visibly see and attend games.
It's just so inspiring, and it's something to aim for and something to reach for and something to work for. So I think it's really an awesome opportunity.
At NFSA, that spark is the whole mission, building better athletes, better teammates, and ultimately, better people. Camp may be wrapping up, but the impact goes far beyond this week. Spots fill up very fast every year, and after seeing it in action, it's very easy to see why.
Well, there's no doubt. Mike Pickett was once named the best girls high school soccer coach in the country. He has been a highly productive and successful coach, and you can really see why. Emerson, thanks so much. We also want to report that the girls U20 team won 9-0 on Sunday. All 4 of the developmental teams in the Sporting Jacks family right now are near the top of their respective leagues. You're talking about the USL W, USL League 2, and both the men's and women's U20 teams are atop their divisions. It's an impressive sign of what's to come in the future for Sporting Jacks. For more on Sporting Jacks in the world of soccer, join Mark Warburton, Stacey Balaam, and me every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010XL for the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks. You can listen on air or online at 1010XL.com. And be sure to join Mauricio, Becky, and me every Thursday night at 6 for the Sporting Jacks Soccer Hour. We cover the entire soccer world, including Sporting Jacks and the USL. Thursday nights at 6 on AM 930 Fox Sports Radio Jacksonville or the iHeart app. Still to come, can the issues with the U.S. men's national team be fixed? Mauricio Ruiz rejoins us to take a closer look as the Sporting Jacks report rolls on. You can watch the Sporting Jacks report every weekend on the stations of First Coast News. Next weekend, we'll be back on ABC 25 at noon. Afterwards, we'll return to our regular time, Saturday at 12:30 on NBC 12. And find us on demand on First Coast News Plus and the Sporting Jacks YouTube channel. Let's welcome in Mauricio Ruiz now. Now let's talk about the U.S. men's national team. 4 straight losses, including a 4-0 defeat at the hands of Switzerland on Tuesday. We're a year away from the World Cup starting. Something needs to happen positive for the U.S. in a hurry.
Yeah, they do. And yeah, this last 4 matches for Mauricio Pochettino and his staff and the collective group has not been good. Not only because the results haven't come, obviously this is a performance-based environment and you expect results to come, but just the way that they've kind of gone about it too. The team has not looked like it's gelled. A little bit of controversy over players on this friendly and Gold Cup that have not come. Top players that we expect to be together 1 year away from the World Cup, and they've chose to be a scratch for this call-up. So some head scratching, to say the least, of why it's happening. But you just look at these 2-game performances. First of all, the quality on the field was nowhere near world class. I mean, a lot of good, promising young players. But when you look at Switzerland, you look at and you look at Turkey, these are 2 really, really good European sides, and the U.S. just looked like a shadow of them.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be for the time being with all these key players out like Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie and so many others. They're not going to be playing in the Gold Cup that starts this next week, so we'll see how it all plays out. But Mauricio Pochettino needs some positivity to happen around that men's national team. Hey, be sure to stay up to date with everything that's going on with Sporting Jacks. We are less than a month away from the start of training camp for the USL Super League team, and you'll want to follow us on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and on TikTok for the very latest with what's going on with Sporting Jacks. As I mentioned, the players continue to come in. We'll have more player signings coming up in the very near future, and we'll have so much more as we get ready for the first ever training camp for Sporting Jacks and the first season, which kicks off in August. For Emerson Burris, I'm Cole Pepper. Thanks for watching the Sporting Jacks Report.